Hey y'all, it's Bo and Kelly Brotherton with Better Together Life and the Shed 2 House Facebook group. We have a plan. We have a lot of animals right now. How many birds do we have? We have a lot of birds. My goal always on this property is to function stack everything that we do. And one of those things that I want to be able to do is to not only grow food, plants and trees for ourselves, but also for our animals. And my first goal is to save 50% on our feed. And that's what we're going over today, is how we are trying to grow tree hay, fodder trees for our animals.
I love it. Tree hay. Hi, trees.
All right, we're going to rewind about a month ago whenever we got these trees from Nicholas Ferguson from rareplantstore.com. Look what just came in. This is so cool. Okay, so this is fodder trees from Nicholas Ferguson from the Rare Plant Store. Nick Ferguson has found a way to save a lot of money on these awesome fodder trees. It's just so cool. I have no idea what is in here. He said he was gonna send me some, and I'm very excited, and I don't know what to do with them. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, I'm gonna read through, oh, it's getting dark fast. I'm gonna read through this, and I'll give you an update, hold on. Shoot, as soon as I got them, I should have put them in water. I didn't do that. Let me go do that right now. All right, just got some rainwater from my new rain system here. Thank you, Josh from Gander Flight. That is awesome. It actually is working. What Nick says to do, I guess to remove this. I don't know what all this stuff is.
I know.
So.
Why did he zip tie it?
Okay, so we basically just put.
Maybe it says it on the box.
It says it puts the roots in some water while we do that. So we're just gonna let that rehydrate.
They kind of look like mulberry trees.
They do kind of look like mulberry trees. I'm sure that there's some of them are mulberry trees.
Oh, they're all different?
Okay, so all of these are fodder trees. So let me see if I can cut this without cutting any other roots. Okay. Okay, so I have 3 different trees. Don't fully know what they are.
You just said they're fodder trees.
They are fodder trees, but I don't know.
What kind of breed?
Correct. Okay, so I talked to Nick Ferguson with Rare Plant Food Store. He told me with the materials that I have right now, I don't have any worm castings, unfortunately, which is weird because I used to have worm castings all the time. But right now, what I do have is I have a lot of rabbit poop. So what I did is I took equal parts potting mix, just general organic potting mix, then equal parts rabbit poop, and also equal parts composted wood chips. I have wood chips that have been composting for over a year, and we just scooped them up, equal parts that, mix it all together in here, and then we're gonna put it in the containers and then plant these trees. Okay, so
No.
could be wrong. Here on this, on these 2, and then
There it is. Good technique, Ella. A little bit deeper.
step.
Carefully. You're going too fast. Not so fast, because you have to get it all the sides of the plant. Okay.
Says, okay, so we're gonna compress it down a little bit to firm it in from the side of the plant indicating the root crown. So that's an exposed root here. All right, so you might be wondering, you have these fodder trees, why don't you just put them in the ground? We planted them in these big, like, you know, cattle molasses tubs. The reason for that is because we were killing trees the first couple of years that we were here.
When Pete, our permaculture guy, was like,
I could probably keep half the trees alive.
If you lost half your trees, that would be a failure to me.
Okay, well, everybody's saying, like, you know, you need to expect for you to lose a good amount of trees.
No, that's wrong.
so we needed a better system, and honest to goodness, this is working out a lot better. I held my breath when we planted these because I just wasn't quite sure. This is working out a lot better, and I do think the best thing you can do homesteading is like act and adjust. So if it doesn't work, then you just tweak it a little bit and you do it better the next time and see if that new way works.
And that's why we're doing it this way, is to plant them in containers that we can really manage them. We can baby them. We can make sure that they have enough water. We can make sure that they have enough shade because we're in Texas. And if a freeze is coming and we feel like we need to bring them inside, then we can do that. The goal is to keep them alive enough so that we can do cuttings from them and then propagate them. Because all of these are very easy propagators.
The goal is to grow half of our feed for the pigs and the chickens and the laying hens and the rabbits too. But I think we can do a little bit more there. So what we started was the willow here, and they grew quick.
All these are very fast growing.
They are, and they're hardy because we've had a lot of different weather since we planted them, like back to below almost freezing and then really high heat. And then there's a mulberry right behind Bo and a hybrid poplar over there. So out of these and the propagation that we do, it's like the start of cutting all of our protein growing meat at our property, cutting their feed by half. So with the rabbits though, we can actually, not only with these trees and then some other things that we've planted, we can grow all of their feed here, which is really exciting. So like the sustainability part of it is if you can not only grow for your people, like the meat for your people and the food and the produce for your people, but if you can grow the produce for your animals that feed the people and then grow more animals, it's all this like connected ecosystem.
Function stacking.
So that ecosystem is what really has to be like foundational, and that's what we're working on.
And all of these trees you can coppice. So envision, this is really old school stuff. It's like in the best part of the year you can grow and cut hay.
Yeah.
And you can store that up. Well, in the summer, whenever you're not here in Texas, or in the winter for a lot of y'all, and you're not growing that, then you have trees that you can still coppice. And that's what they used to do, is they would cut this down and then they would store all of these great forage plants as tree hay. No joke, y'all. I'm not going to do this now, but we can just cut this and put it in with the rabbits and they will go to town.
They do.
Goats would do the same. If we had sheep, wow, they would do the same. Even cattle would do the same. Chickens and pigs, we're going to do they'll nibble some of it. But the mulberries actually have berries.
Well, I think even seasonally, like something to talk about that's really like a permaculture principle, but just even for your own health, to eat seasonally is really important. So if you're cutting down the trees that they're already used to, you're supplementing less with purchased feed. And then for your animals, they're getting more nutrition, because even when you cut something, depending on its ripeness or its readiness, it's going to have more nutrition for your animal and for your people as well.
Yeah. Cut it, it grows right back.
Next question is probably going to be, where do I even get these starts? So you can get starts anywhere. Even some nurseries will have, starts. Like we got our passion flower vines from a nursery that was local. We got these from Nick Ferguson at, is it Plant?
rareplantstore.com.
At rareplantstore.com. We don't catch any extra, like this isn't a paid
He's
promotion.
just a friend of mine.
But we think they're really good and reliable enough to share them with you. So if you like them, go there and support Nick. He's a great believer in permaculture and regenerative agriculture, and he really like puts a lot of care and even support into the people who buy his product, because when we had questions, we just like messaged him and said, hey, what would you do with this? And he gave us some really great advice on how to plant for replanting, since we're putting them in the potters first. I thought that was just good customer care, and those always make a difference to me.
Yeah, Nick is an amazing permaculture designer, and he found a way to get these trees. He also has some fruit and nut packages, nut tree. He's got
like
a lot.
Food forest things.
Yeah,
things
which we want, but we got it late, and so we got but this is still good, the forage.
Well, it's part of our process, right? So the food forest will come, but we kind of need some little like baby trees that we can love for a little bit and cut our teeth on, because
and hardy.
the last thing I want to do is plant rows and rows of trees and have them fail. And I just wasn't confident enough for us to do that this season. No. But I do think, like, after having these and seeing just how well they've done in these pots, I feel confident that we could do this on a larger scale. So I'm cutting the teeth on the small thing was good. So don't be afraid of just starting in a small way, especially if your husband is tempted to, like, go full on terraced and everything in your food forest.
Swales, come on. It's happening at
some
some
point.
point.
It's just a little bit scary.